On an ordinary morning in the year 79 AD, the streets of Pompeii were already awake. Bread ovens were hot. Wine shops lifted their wooden shutters. Children played near public fountains, while merchants argued over prices. Nothing felt urgent, nothing felt dangerous. Above the city stood Mount Vesuvius Green, quiet and familiar. For generations, it had been part of the landscape. Not a threat, not a warning, just a mountain. The people of Pompeii did not know they were living their final normal days, but history would preserve their world in a way no one could have imagined. This is the story of life in Pompeii before the eruption, not the catastrophe, but the ordinary routines that existed right up until time stopped. Before we step into the streets of Pompeii, take a moment to subscribe. This channel explores the hidden stories behind everyday life, across time, culture, and history. And today, we're walking through a city that never knew it was living its last normal day. Pompeii was not a forgotten town waiting for disaster. It was a busy Roman city, home to roughly 11,000 people. Its location near the Bay of Naples made it a center for trade, wine production, agriculture, tourism. Visitors arrived for business, leisure, and entertainment. Wealth flowed through the city. The streets were paved with stone and designed with raised sidewalks. Stepping stones allowed people to cross roads during floods. Fresh water flowed continuously from public fountains, supplied by Roman aqueducts. Pompeii was advanced, organized, and loud. This was a city that expected tomorrow to come. Life in Pompeii depended heavily on social class. The wealthy lived in large houses built around open courtyards. These homes featured indoor gardens, painted frescoes, decorative mosaics, private dining rooms. Walls were covered with colorful scenes, mythology, erotic art, even satire. But most residents lived very differently. Many families occupied small apartments above shops. Some homes had no kitchens at all. Cooking at home was a luxury, which meant most people ate elsewhere. Pompeii had over 80 thermopolia ancient fast food counters. These street stalls served hot stews, beans, bread, meat, spiced wine. Large clay jars were embedded directly into the counters, still visible today. This was everyday food, quick, affordable, and social. People didn't just eat here, they talked, they argued, they exchanged news. The streets of Pompeii functioned like living rooms. Life happened outside. One of Pompeii's most revealing features is its graffiti. The city's walls were covered with messages, political endorsements, love confessions, personal insults, crude jokes, gladiator fan praise. These weren't carved by elites. They were written by ordinary people. Pompeii's walls acted like a public message, board opinions preserved without filters. These voices survived because no one expected them to matter. Pompeii took leisure seriously. Public bathhouses were central to daily life. A visit involved exercise, hot baths, cold plunges, social interaction. Business deals were made here. Friendships were maintained here. The city also had taverns, gambling spaces, and brothels, some clearly marked with symbols carved into stone. Pleasure was not hidden. It was integrated into everyday routine. Pompeii was indulgent, social, and unapologetically human. Religion guided daily decisions. Homes contained small shrines to household gods. Temples honored Roman deities believed to protect the city. Earthquakes had shaken Pompeii years earlier, but earthquakes were common in the region. They were inconveniences, not warnings. Mount Vesuvius was not known as a volcano. No written memory existed of its previous eruptions. To the people of Pompeii, danger had no shape. On the final day, life continued as usual. Shops opened, bread was baked, people walked the streets. When ash began to fall, many assumed it would pass. Some stayed inside, some tried to flee. Within hours, Pompeii vanished beneath ash and pumice. Meals were left unfinished. Tools were abandoned. Footprints were frozen mid-escape. Time did not end violently, it ended quietly. Pompeii is not remembered because of how it was destroyed. It is remembered because of how completely it lived. The city shows us that people in the past were not distant or simple. They were busy, distracted, hopeful, just like us. Pompeii reminds us that history does not always announce itself. Sometimes it arrives on an ordinary day. And that is why this city, frozen in time still, speaks to us nearly 2,000 years later.